This is Around Our Area, and we are at the Beatrice Country Club with head golf professional Seth Ray. And Seth, you know, this time of year we get into winter, I would imagine if you're a Nebraska golfer, you're getting a little bit of cabin fever. I know last year the weather was pretty good, and you could actually play every month of the year. Maybe not so much this year, but when typically do most of the people start coming out?
Oh, around here obviously it depends on what we have on the ground for snow. So right now it's, kind of put a damper on it, but I would say, typically around March, middle of March is usually when it starts to turn to the point where at least fairly decent, where people are actually able to get out and play, and then the superintendent's obviously okay with that too. So we obviously got to get the nod from them before we, get let the folks out there. But I would say March 15th. I know the high school starts around March, so usually around then is when we like to, get people out here, and that's when most people start chomping at the bit. So that's usually pretty commonplace around here.
We are not as lucky, of course, for people that live in the southern United States. They get to play year-round. So when we're looking at our clubs still in the closet or things like that and dreaming of what we're going to do, we have to kind of temper our expectations a little bit when we come out for that first time.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's one of those things that we actually have a lot of members that go down south to play, and then I always get all these stories about all these people getting hole-in-ones. I'm sitting here like, man, the only way we can get hole-in-ones is on PlayStation, So it really kind of makes you kind of jealous of them, but it's one of those things that you take it for what it's worth around here, and we decided to live here, so it's golf is obviously pretty good around here, pretty big around Beatrice with a country club here, but it is nice every once in a while to go down south and play in January and February and kind of get a taste of what it is like to play in warmer weather in those months, since doesn't happen very often around here.
Well, if you play in Nebraska for any length of time, one thing you have to put up with is the wind. And what's the key to being effective in the wind and enjoying it?
Well, enjoying it's a different story, because I don't know many people that actually enjoy playing in the wind. But in terms of playing better golf in the wind, it kind of sounds cliche, but swing easy is what I was always taught. A lot of people think if you're playing into the wind, you have to swing harder to hit the ball further. As a matter of fact, that actually has the opposite effect. It messes with the spin rates. Ask Tiger Woods, he'll tell you about them. The easier you swing, the lower the spin rates, the easier it is for the ball to penetrate through the wind, and usually your better scores. And obviously that's what everybody around here is shooting for, is getting that rounds to a point where they're pretty consistent and hopefully in the 70s. So.
That's where the saying came from, into the breeze, swing with ease, I believe.
Absolutely, that's where I got it from.
Well, let's talk about Beatrice Country Club is a very challenging course, one of the best ones in the state of Nebraska. One thing, though, over the years, that in order to make it fun for everybody, it used to be you saw a lot of golf courses with 2 sets of tee boxes. Now you can tailor it to any level of play, really.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have 5 sets of tees here, so we cater to literally everybody. And even when we have junior tournaments out here, usually the Nebraska Junior Golf Tour will come out and put up junior tees even. So we're to the point where we can accommodate every single golfer, which is obviously what we're here to do. This day and age, you got to cater to everybody: women, men, juniors, all that kind of stuff. But yes, like Doug said, it is very challenging if you play from the tips. It's especially with the winds blowing, like we just said, it can be an absolute brute. But like I said, that's why there's different tees, and you're hypothetically choose a tee that's best for your playing ability and go from there, even though some people like to bite off maybe more than they can chew, me included. So, but yep, it's definitely nice to have 5 sets of tees here that cater to everybody.
All right, well, Seth, thanks very much. Have a good golf season, too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Seth Ray, the head professional at Beatrice Country Club. I'm Doug Kennedy for News Channel Nebraska, and that's Around Our Area.